Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to look at the UDI RC U27 mini / micro quadcopter. And the cool thing about this one is it actually can fly upside down. You can press a button, you'd be flying right side up, it'll flip over and fly upside down until you flip it again, which is kind of a neat feature. Out of the box, of course, you get the quadcopter itself. Nice looking little mini quadcopter, looks kind of like the QX4 quadcopter. Very similar in design, just a little different, looks a little durable, a little more durable. Of course you get the manual, just your plain Jane basic manual going through all the setup and instructions on how to do everything. You get a 450 mAh battery. I like this little tab, so when you do want to pull it out, you don't have to pull in the wires, you can just pull in the tab, so that's convenient. It comes with these prop guards on. I took them off. If you're just beginning or you're flying in the house and you don't want to mess up the props or injure anybody, I'd recommend leaving these on if you're just beginning. And the way you put these on and off is you just slide them into this little notch. There's just a little notch there, and there's a couple of tabs that kind of lock in here, and you'll just slide it in and out to take those off. I'd recommend taking them off once you get a little better. It will increase your flight time, and you will have less wind resistance in flight, so the wind won't push it all over the place as much. They also give you 4 brand new props, which is always nice. Some quads only give you a couple, but these guys give you a whole set of 4. And last but not least, you get this little USB charging stick, which I actually really like. It's a little bit of a different design than most. This one just the battery will plug directly into the stick. And the battery's light enough where if you do plug it in and it's kind of hanging off your USB ports or your USB plug into the wall, it's fine. But I really like the way they kind of eliminated the wiring on this. It's pretty convenient. And here's the controller. So this is more of a game stick type controller, where you have your throttle on the left, your yaw here, turning left and right. You've got your tilt, your roll. You've got your trim buttons here. You would trim forward and back, left and right. And this would be your yaw trim. If it's rotating in one direction or the other too much, just hit the opposite direction in any of these buttons and you will be good to go. So the features on this, these 2 top trigger buttons, this will enable the quad to, when it is flying, you press this once to the right, and it will actually, this is the back here where you put the battery. You press this once when you're flying and it will actually flip over and start flying on the upside down. When you do flip left or right, you still have the same orientation, so you'll have back will be back, forward will be forward, left will be left, right will be right. And then the same goes for the left button. You'll just flip over this way. And while it's flying upside down, you can control it however you want. And then to flip back over, you just press either buttons again. It'll either flip left, back to the right side up, or it'll flip right, back, right side up. You'll also have the option to click in the right stick, which will enable your flip mode or your upside down mode, and any direction you actually push next, it will flip in that direction to the upside down mode. So this is the easy way to do it for left and right flips, and then pushing it in, you can also do left and right flips, but you also have the option to do back or forward. Keep in mind when you do a back or forward flip, your orientation is going to be opposite. So now left will be right, right will be left, forward will be coming towards you, and back will be going away from you. So if you're just starting out, I'd recommend just using these 2 top buttons just so you don't get too confused and crash. Besides that, you have a couple of rates. You push this in, you'll hear some beeps, and that'll enable the quad to get a little bit more of an angle, a pitch angle, so you can go a little faster pitch and roll. Also, the last function of the controller will be the headless mode. And you activate that by actually clicking in this button and holding it down for a couple of seconds. You'll hear a beeping, and then you'll have that headless mode where no matter what orientation you're in, when it's away from you flying, you can just pull the pitch and roll stick back to you, and it'll come back. So if you get lost in your orientation, hold this in, go into headless mode, and then pulling back, no matter which direction this is facing you, it'll come on back to you, forward, it'll go left or go right. To get back out of headless mode, just go ahead and click this button in again and hold it. So before you initially fly the U27, I would recommend doing a gyro calibration. This one seems to really benefit from the gyro calibration. It will give you a lot more stable level flight in windless environments, and just in general, it's good to do gyro calibrations before your first flight. And also, if the thing starts acting up, if you might crash and bend your rotors just slightly, it might start going in one direction or the other. And before you do any kind of trimming, what I'd recommend is center your trims and do this gyro calibration. So first thing is you turn on the controller with the throttle all the way down. Plug in the U27. Okay, set it on a very level surface. The more level as possible, the better performance you'll get in hovering and level type of flight. So after that, go ahead and push the controller throttle button up and then down. You'll hear that 3 consecutive beeps, low to high. And essentially what you've done is you've bound the controller and also done a gyro calibration all in one. So it should be super stable now in flight. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and go out to the park, do some outdoor flights, indoor flights, see how it performs. Come on back, give us some runtime numbers of how it performed in both environments, and then also give it pros and cons and final thoughts and review. All right, let's get out there.
Sorry. Stick it up a little. Test some range versus
So welcome back. We had a few flights with the UDI RC U27 here, and I'm gonna go through a couple of pros and cons and just kind of give a final thoughts on how I like this little guy. Range is about 75 to 100 feet. So 75 to 100 feet is not bad. I wished it was a little more range, and it just depends on the angle it is from you. If it's at a lower altitude going out, you're going to get less range, but if it's kind of angled at a 45-degree out from you up into the sky, you'll get a little bit better range of about 100 feet. And the thing that I didn't like about the range, when it does drop out of range, it maintains its motor speed. So the problem with that is if you do lose range and it's kind of drifting away, instead of it dropping out of the sky like some do, this one will just keep going, and that could get you in trouble by actually going a lot further than if it would just kind of drop. So it's kind of a trade-off. If it drops and it drops on, say, a hard surface, you might get some damage, but I'd rather have that than actually just kind of lose the whole thing from it not dropping and just kind of flying away. So that was that was one of the cons there. Let's see what else. It doesn't fly that great in wind. So if you're looking into this guy here, I would recommend flying it in very low wind conditions, probably around 5 miles per hour, 10 maybe max. But the problem is it doesn't have a lot of lift from these dual purpose propellers. They're designed to fly right side up and also upside down. So you kind of give a trade-off on lift in one way or the other. So that's the problem. So when you get in a windy situation and you're trying to fight the wind and you're pitching and rolling like this, you don't have much lift to get you back up. So I was kind of hitting the grass a lot, even at full throttle up to try to save it. So that's another con. And then the last thing would be, it doesn't have any low battery blinking lights. So if you're flying around, it's just going to kind of start slowly dropping, and then it's not going to give you any kind of indication. The lights just kind of stay lit normally when it runs out of battery power. So I would have liked to see some kind of flashing lights when it did get low on power, so you could kind of bring it in and make sure you landed before it drops. So those are all the cons. Besides that, it was really fun. The pros would be, it is a very durable quad here. This thing is really well made. It's maybe a little bit heavier because it is so well made, but if a kid's flying it, they're going to be able to crash this thing a lot. The motors look really durable. The plastic looks really, really durable. And I can't see this thing breaking unless you're dropping it from 100 feet onto concrete or asphalt. And that's, there's something to be said for that. It's just a very, very overall durable craft. So more of the pros would be, the battery is really easy to install. You just slide it right in and then plug it in here. I would have liked to see a switch somewhere, just so when you did plug it in, you don't have to fly it right away. Say you wanted to do something else for a couple minutes, and then you could switch it on and fly. But that's a minor issue. But it was really easy to push in the battery and pull it out. It just kind of goes in and clamps in, and then you just plug in the wire. So that's kind of a good pro. And also, it flies upside down. So that's a big pro. That's probably what's going to attract most people to this quad is it's cool. The cool factor of that it can fly upside down. It can do multiple direction flying, upside down. You can flip it back to normal flight. So that's a really cool feature, and I don't think I've seen any other quad do that. So just keep in mind that you will sacrifice a little bit of vertical lift to have that upside down feature, because the props are designed to do right side up and upside down flying. And the charge time on this guy is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour for the battery to charge on the stock charger. And That's going to fluctuate because, you know, that's going to be probably a 45 minutes if you plug into a smartphone wall USB charger, and a little bit longer, maybe an hour if you're plugging into a lower power computer with a USB charger. And then flight times were 5 to 6 minutes. So about 5 minutes hard flying outside, fighting some wind, and then 6 minutes inside, doing random flips and flying around. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to give this guy a not a 2 thumbs up. This is going to get a 1 thumbs up for me this time because of a few shortcomings I think could have been taken care of, but it will attract the people that want to fly this thing upside down. Kids will love it. It's got it's really neat to see the thing flip over and fly upside down. So anyway, hope you guys liked the review. If you're interested in this, there's going to be links in the description. This was a review model from gearbest.com, and that will also be in the description of where you can buy this. And they've also got some parts and stuff for this as well. So if you liked the video, please subscribe, like, and comment, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.